welcome back to Sarah's Stitch. I'm Sarah, and this is my knitting podcast. So I will just get straight into it. I hope everyone is having a great New Year so far. Happy New Year, and had a great holiday season. I'm back in Hoboken after my trip to Switzerland and France. It was great. It was very relaxing. It did rain the whole time, pretty much the whole time. I think we had 2 nice days the whole time we were there. So win some, you lose some. But it was good. It was nice to get away for a little bit and spend time with my family. There was a lot of drinking, some knitting, not much, but a lot of drinking, a little bit of skiing, a lot of relaxing. So it was good. But I am back for my first episode of 2023. And I have a few finished objects that were lingering from last year, and then I've started a few new projects as well. So I will get right into it. So first of all, this is a store-bought jumper. I did make it. I do love it, but I did not make it. But I will start with my finished objects. So I have one finished object I don't have with me since my last episode, which is my mom's socks I made her, which I used last year's Cozy Knitter Advent, the 2021 Advent, and I held a strand of bare undyed fingering weight yarn with it. So together it made like a DK-ish weight sock, because my mom likes thicker socks. I finished them on Christmas Day. I was a good daughter. She saw me knitting them the whole time because I was with her for 2 weeks. I didn't take a picture of them. I will see if she can get me a picture before I post this. If not, I'll post a picture of my socks from last year and just imagine it marled with white. Essentially, that's what it is. And they are very high. They like go very high up on her leg, like a few inches below her kneecap. So she's a big fan of them. The next thing I finally finished Ryan's zipper sweater. So this is the Zipper Sweater Man by Petite Knit, and I knit it out of Sorella Bulky. The colorway is Shakespeare's Garden, which was from this summer. So this is what it looks like. It is all finished. Zipper has been sewn in. I hope you can see this because I'm covering my face. I think I did like a okay-ish job with the zipper. It's my first zipper I ever sewed in, so I think it's fine. The collar I made shorter just because I was basing it off of other quarter zips Ryan has, and they're all much shorter collars. So this is only about an inch, and I folded it over, so 2 inches of ribbing. I think the pattern calls for 4 inches of collar, so 8 inches total of ribbing. This was made in the size extra small, again based off of the size of pullovers Ryan normally wears. They're usually like a men's medium is what they are, but there's not as much positive ease. So this was an extra small size. It grew a lot when I blocked it, and it's like not too big, but it looks like too big on him. So I'm gonna try and wash and dry it and hope that it doesn't shrink too much, because I think he would like it better if it was shrank down a little bit. Maybe I'll try and get some B-roll of me wearing it, but it's awesome. Big fan of it. I don't know if the color is coming off great. I guess that's a pretty accurate color of it. I'm filming this at night. Today's the 11th. Yeah, today's the 11th, January 11th. So this is nighttime filming with a ring light after work. So I'm hoping colors turn out okay, but this is the Zipper Sweater Man. I finally have finished it. So slowly working down the sweater webs. But I've been waiting to try and shrink it until I filmed. I finished this over the weekend, a few days ago, and blocked it, but I've been waiting to try and shrink it until I filmed a podcast episode in case I ruin it. The next finished object I have is another lingering finished object. I think I started it last January, so it's been on the needles for a while, and it is the Badger in Bloom by Anna Wenzel. It'll be on my screen. But so I started this last year because I was influenced by everyone else that was making them. And then realized it wasn't size inclusive, so this is not a size inclusive pattern. And as other podcasters have said, they've reached out to the designer, and I believe she has said that she does not have plans to make this size inclusive. I think if you're really a big fan of the pattern, it's very easy to put this design on any yoke sweater that fits you that you like, because it's just a 2-stitch repeat, or technically 4, I guess, but it's just like 2 to 4 stitches, so you could pop it into pretty much anything, especially like Tin Can Knits, the anthology collection. You could definitely fit it in there, because that pretty much lays out how to make a colorwork sweater. But so this is what it is. I did it in Holskarn Cello, something like that. It is in the colors Winter White and Cosmos. It's like a, I hope it's coming out. It's like a navy blue. And maybe I'll try and get footage of me, B-roll of me wearing it, so I can put it over top of this. But it is, I love it. I love the contrast on it. It's not like just stark black and white. But it is a little cropped. This yarn I think is mostly alpaca with some wool and some synthetic. I think it's technically, I don't know if it's technically blown yarn, but maybe it's chainette, but it's very stretchy when you're working with it. Like there was a bit of a learning curve when knitting with it because you couldn't have like as tight of tension. But I think the sweater turned out okay. When I tried it on before blocking it, the wrists only went to like about here. I haven't tried it on since blocking, but it seems like the sleeves have stretched out a little bit, which I'm very happy with. But so this was, like I said, I started it in January last year. January or February. Last winter. And I knit all through the yoke, and I think one whole sleeve, and then I've been picking it up here and there the last 8 months. It's been sitting, I've been able to see it for the last 8 months. It's been sitting on my yarn bookshelf, which is like right there. And it's at the top of one of my baskets, and it's just been sitting there. So now that basket looks empty because there's nothing at the top of it anymore. But I finished the second sleeve probably, I want to say like right when I started filming this. I probably could go back and check, but so I just had to finish the body. I use every little last bit I had of the white and thought I was going to either have to order another ball of white or cut off the color work at the bottom because that's how low I was on the white yarn. I think, do you have the scrap? Hold on. This is all I had left of the white. So, bit of yarn chicken. I feel like I lost a ball somewhere along the way because I don't think I would have ordered, I think I checked my order and it said I ordered 5 balls of the white and 3 balls of the blue. And this was like barely into the blue, like all of this into the 3rd ball of the blue. So I don't, maybe it is because the body or like the non-color work is worked on 5mm needles. So I guess it could be 5 balls of white, but it just seems like it's not enough to be, what would that be? 350 grams of yarn. Does not seem like it'd be that much, but I think I like it. Again, I haven't tried it on since blocking, so hopefully I like it. I think it's going to be a very warm sweater to wear to my office if it's not too cropped, because I don't really like wearing cropped stuff to my office. It's a little bit more of a old-fashioned office. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned and I don't like wearing like crop things. Like I don't wear ripped jeans to my office, but I own so many pairs of ripped jeans, so I have a completely different wardrobe for work, which I guess makes sense because I'm an accountant. But that is my last finished object. I have a few works in progress and a few plans, so I'll get into those. My closest finished object is my 2022 Cozy Knitter socks, Advent socks. So this is, like I said, 2022, and the heel toe and cuff, I used a Homespun House antique, and it's the Stellina base. I don't know if the Stellina is gonna come up, but this is what it looks like. I did a partridge heel, and then this is the toe, and I used the pattern from Kay Jones for an umbrella toe. It's just like evenly domed decrease rather than a wedge. I still haven't decided what my favorite sock toe is. I think the next pair of socks I make, I want to try like an anatomically correct toe and see how I like that. Right now I usually either just do this toe or just like a normal wedge toe, like what's in the Crazy Sock Lady patterns of like decrease until you're at like, I think it's like 16 or 20 stitches, and then every other round, and then decrease every round until like 8 or 10 stitches. But this is my first sock. I finished this on Christmas Day, and then I just have to do the toe on my other sock, which I haven't gotten around to doing yet. I really should just do it tonight while I'm watching TV, because I'd like to wear these. But these are my Cozy Knitter socks. The next work in progress is, this has been seen before. It has had, I think, significant progress since I last showed it. Well, significant to me. I don't know if it's significant to anyone else, but it is my mom's Billy sweater. So this is a pattern by Sari Nordlund. I think it came out last year or at the end of 2021 maybe, but I have officially split for sleeves, thank the Lord Jesus Christ. I was knitting it on these needles, which I think are 32 inches. So everything was very squished, and it was getting very difficult to do cables on this short of cord with a full yoke. I have a gauge issue. I didn't do a gauge swash because I'm a bad knitter, you could say. But I had to do, I think, probably like 15 or 20 extra rows in the yoke before I split, because it was so shallow. I don't know. I'm using yarns that are pretty close to what she used. I'm using, I'm at the ball end of each of these, but Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino in the color cream, and then Sandnes Garn Tin Silk Mohair in the natural color. And I'm holding them together, and I think the pattern was written for Cascade 220, so maybe I miscalculated, but I thought that was a pretty similar gauge to what this combo is. But whatever the issue was, it took ages to get here. I think the pattern said after like this thicker cable split for sleeves, and I had to add like a whole extra 3 inches. So I'm very happy to have split. My goal is to have, I want to say the whole sweater done by the end of January. That seems like a lofty goal, so I'm gonna say to have the body done by the end of January, and then I just have to deal with the sleeves because they're not gonna require thought. But my mom likes a tapered sleeve, and I think this pattern is just straight, So I'm just gonna have to figure out how I'm doing my decreases on it. But this is where I'm at with the Billy. It looks gorgeous on camera. I think it's gonna be very thick and heavy, even though it feels like kind of holey. I guess when I block it, it'll be better, but it feels like it's going to be a substantial sweater, and I think my mom's really going to like it. I don't think I have anything else to say about this right now. And then, okay, I have a few more whips. So I'm making a pair of socks for my brother. I'm making these 2 at a time. I've learned I cannot stand 2 at a time, and that's perfectly okay. I am knitting him a pair of ski socks. So I've knit him a single sock so far since I started knitting again, and I made it, do I have it here? Yes. So this is the first sock I made him, and he wants only wool socks to ski in because he's a big skier. So I made him this, this is made out of Sorella yarn, and it is the Tomorrowland sock set, or Space Mountain sock set, I think. So the main color is Space Mountain, and it's from the Disneyland collection, I think, from a few years ago. And I think the tonal was called Tomorrowland. I could have that backwards or completely wrong, but it's definitely Space Mountain inspired because I got this yarn because Space Mountain reminds me of my brother. So it was going to be socks for him regardless. But I was knitting the sock. He has a size US 11 men's foot. So it is a long sock, especially compared to, I don't think I have small feet, but compared to my socks, it's a solid, is that like 2.5 inches longer? So I didn't want to run out of yarn for this because it was my first time making a men's sock, and especially a men's sock this long. So I made, oh Jesus Christ, I made the leg a little bit shorter than he would have liked. So he tried this on, he said, it fits fine, but like I want it longer for my ski boots, which I understand, but I was a little annoyed. So I didn't make him anything for a while. And then I started these, which are, this yarn is Ski Bum in Summer by Wool and Zanosh. And I am just doing so because I'm going to make him like, I don't know if I can get my this high socks that go to like literally right below his kneecap. So I had to make it so it would fit around his calf. So the bottom, I think I switched right around here. This is the String of Lights. Yeah, String of Lights pattern by Sock Witchery. And then above it, it's still String of Lights, like the general pattern and idea, except it is 3x2 rather than 3x1, just to like fit around his calf. And then when I decreased, that's when I started measuring against where it was here. So I have about another full set of the repeat, like color repeat, before I do the heel. And the black I'm using is part of the set. It's just Michelle's black yarn that comes with it. And I love these colors. I think they're so my brother. He loves like retro-y stuff to ski in, like outlandish stuff. So I think he's really gonna like these whenever I finish them. They're going to take forever, and that's okay. My goal is a stripe a day. So like a full like black through a color. They did get off a little bit. I bought both these skeins at different times because I originally bought one of the skeins. I know which one it is by looking at it because I unraveled it. This was the first skein I bought, and then this was the second, like months later, because I bought this when I was making the Space Mountain socks, and I truly don't think that I could get a full length sock that he wants out of one skein of yarn. So I had gotten to like, I think I got through like half of the foot of the first sock with the first skein I had, and I decided to just rip it out, and I would get another skein and just knit 2 at a time. So I knew I would definitely have enough yarn to make him 2 socks of the length he wanted. So I think the stripes are just a little bit off just because of when I bought them, which is fine. But you can see the stripes don't match up exactly. This one is like 2 behind where this one is, which I did purposefully because I didn't know if it was gonna line up exactly. So the blacks are like a little bit off, but I think he'll like them. I like them. And then the scraps from this, I'm gonna make myself a pair of socks because I really love how this stripes up, and I love like the thin black line. I think the ones that I make myself with the leftovers, I'm just gonna do a vanilla sock so that the color changes aren't as, I don't want to say obnoxious, but like the pearl bumps in, like the random pearl bumps in other colors, like you can see it really well in the white right here. It doesn't bother me, it's just not my favorite. So if I don't have to look at it, that would be great. Or maybe I'll just do like the black and pearl, like pearl the blacks every time the black comes up when I do mine, but that's where I'm at. So these are this is my other work in progress. I have 2 more. So when I finished the socks in Switzerland, I cast on this, which is the Monday sweater by Petite Knit. And the yarn I'm using is Woolberry fiber, and it is from her December boxes. I think I showed this. Yes, I definitely showed this. So this is like the red theme. One of them is called Festive, and one is called Cranberry Cocktail or Christmas Cocktail. Shoot, I'm not gonna remember. One's like a cocktail one, and one is like festive. That doesn't sound right. I can't remember. It's the red one. So this is, I think this is cashmere fingering, and then this is Bethany Surrey. It's tough to see, but this is technically speckled. This is tonal. It was, I think, a little bit easier to see in the skeins, but this is how it's working out so far. So I'm done with all the short rows, and I am just doing raglan increases now. So it's a little baby sweater right now, but I love how it's turning out. It is so soft. I don't know if you can see, I'm sure everyone has seen a million Monday sweaters, but it has like a 3-stitch raglan line, which is nice. It's a little bit different than the no frills, but like same gauge, essentially the same thing as the no frills. It has a folded collar, but that is my Monday sweater, and I love working on it, but it is leaving dye on my hands, like a lot. And the first night I worked on this, I cast this on the 22nd because I was all cut up on my socks at that point, and I brought the 2 pairs of socks, my gloves, I need to grab the gloves, and this yarn to start the sweater, and I brought a sock yarn as well, but all my sock needles were occupied. So I cast this on, and it was one of the days it was raining a lot. So my hands were wet, my clothes were wet, everything was wet, and the dye got all over my jeans and dyed them pink. And I tried to wash it out, and now I just have purple jeans. So I need to be conscious and mindful of when I work on this, what I'm wearing and where I'm sitting, because I have a light colored couch that this dye will never come out of. But I don't know if Bethany's team like changed how they wash the yarn, or maybe it's just more pigmented dye on the darker, more saturated colors, because this and my Sunday sweater both leave dye on my hands. So like this, it just looks like my hands are cold because my hands turn pink. The Sunday sweater, which is like my green, like dark green one, it looks like I have like algae growing on my hands because it's like turns them like greeny, purpley, gross colors. But that is my Monday sweater. So I have 2 other quick things I'll show, and then I think I'm all finished. So let me go grab those real quick and I will pause this. All right, so I'm back and I have all my extra stuff piled up on my lap. So I think I talked about this in my last episode. I did film like a quick little catch up when I was in Switzerland and then never had time to edit it and post it. So I could post that later if people want to see it, but it's like a quick like 10-minute video of like where my projects were at. And I didn't show my mom's socks in that either, so I have nothing to show for them. But I did start the mittens. This was with Sorella Chateau in Worsted, which I had left over from my terrazzo neck by Petite Knit. But these are the mittens I made. It's still a half finished object, but it has this like beautiful like twisted cable and then a normal cable going up it. I did decide I'm definitely going to line these because I think they need it, just because this cable has like yarn overs in it, so I feel like it's not going to be as warm as I'd like it to be, especially for a mitten. So I think I'm going to line it. I have another Sorella mohair that is like a light blue that I think I'm going to line this with. I might change my mind, but I'll take this off so it's not crazy while I'm talking with my hands. But I think that's what I'm going to line it with, because I've learned I'm not a mohair girl. I don't think. I've not found a mohair that I don't find to be like a little bit itchy. I love the feel, like the look of it. I love knitting it. It's not so itchy I don't like wearing it, but it's definitely itchy to me. I've tried the La Bien Ami, Sorella, Sandisgarn, Knitting for Olive, and I think they're all scratchy. I like alpaca. Alpaca to me just feels so much softer. Like it's next to skin soft for me. So that's what I think I'm going to be using in the future, but I have a lot of like just scraps of mohair. And I'm not never going to knit with no mohair. If there's like a color that I really want that's in mohair, I'm sure I will buy it because I have zero self-control. But I think this is a good project to use up some of the mohair on, because it's just going to be on my hands. But yes, these are the mitts. I can't remember the name. It's not an English word. I'm so sorry. But I will put it on the screen. And I think these are gorgeous. The other object I have, which this did not come with me to Switzerland, so it's been getting some progress here and there. This is my Brioche Adventure shawl by, what's his name? Something Tallow. I think his Instagram name is Made by Tallow. Chris Tallow? I don't know. Brioche Adventure. So this is using the Prosper Yarn Advent, the 24-day Advent, and I showed a little bit of it my last episode. I think this is this is the right side. So this is how far I am with it. So I've gotten through like a good chunk of it. I'm on day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just starting with day 12 as the main color on the front. So almost halfway there. This Advent did have 25 minis in it, which was a fun little treat, but I'm working on it when I can. I want to try and finish this by the end of January because I think this would be so comfy cozy to have. Just like bring it to my office and just have it so I can like wrap it around me either as a scarf or as a wrap, because I think it's gonna block out to like a good size. Right now it's about, I don't know, almost a foot deep, but like, oh, just imagining it now. Oops, not like that. Like just wrapped around my shoulders. Oh, I can get it not twisted. Like, oh, it'll be so good. And these are absolutely my colors. I don't know if I mentioned it on the last episode, but I fully cheated and looked ahead at all of the colors. Not all of the colors. I looked ahead at the colors until the day I was leaving. And so I was like 4 days ahead, 5 days ahead, not many days ahead. And I opened the rest when I got back from Switzerland, but I had opened a few random ones here and there just to see where the colors were going, to see if it was a fade, and kind of realized it was a fade. So I'm happy with it. I love these blues. It turns into green. Actually, I'll grab it real quick. 1 second. I have these all on a string so I didn't mess up the colors, but these are the colors I have left. So this is starting with day 13, and then these last two are day 24. So we got an extra little skein on day 24. So it's gonna go through like these neutrals and then into greens, and then there's gonna just be a little pop of red at the end, which I love. And it's so soft. I love it. I'm really happy with the project I chose, and I think the leftovers will look so good. And another, I think I mentioned it last time, I want to put them into a scarf that I saw when I was trying to find a pattern, and hold one of the, like the leftovers of this, the day 25 skein, which is like a sandy speckle, lightly speckled sand color. So hold each of the minis, leftover minis, with the day 25 color, and maybe a skein of fuzz, probably a skein of fuzz, probably Surrey, unless I can't find any Surrey I like, and then I will be using mohair again. And that will be the leftovers from that. And I might give that to my mom if she likes it. If not, I'll just keep it for myself and have 2 similar projects. But that is all of my works in progress, I think. My current works in progress that have been getting some love and attention. I need to cast on a new pair of commuting socks, because these are not commuting to me, because it's like a whole set of, I have these in a Sandy by the Lakeside bag, one of the denim bunny bags. And I think that was all I needed to talk about with that. So acquisitions, I did not get many acquisitions. I only have my subscription yarn that I got. So the first one that got delivered was my, I think it was December, Woolberry Fiber Collective color, and I got flannel in both, what is this? Berry DK, which is just the normal DK. It's 100% superwash merino, and then in Surrey. And I don't know, I feel like I want to be a bright colors person. I don't know if this is like a me color. I don't know. I feel like my whole life my mom has been like, you shouldn't wear reds because like hair, but I just love this color so much. So I think I'm gonna make an accessory with it. I was thinking like a hat or a cowl, or like a hat cowl, or like a hat mitts or cowl mitt, like some sort of combo of that sort, just so I could use this because I think it's so pretty. But I don't know, I feel like it just does not do anything for me as a human, but I like the color, which is shocking because usually I'm like, if you haven't picked up on it yet, I am a blue-green girl through and through. I have recently switched to being more of a gold than a silver jewelry person, which I think just looks better with my hair and everything, but I am a cool toned jewel, hardly any pastels ever kind of gal. But this is like bright. I don't know if it's showing up well on camera. It is like bright red. So we'll see what it turns out to. But, and then the other thing I got was my Homespun House, why am I saying it says it on the label. This is Christmas at Hogwarts 2022, and it is DK. So I got a sock set and a little progress keeper, which I think is from Simply Serving, is usually who Molly uses for Hogwarts stuff. It was like a little gingerbread train with a chocolate frog on it. It was adorable. I can't remember where I put it or else I would show it, but this is the sock set. So I think I'm just gonna do a vanilla sock with this. And this will be for me because these are not my mom's colors and I don't have many DK socks, so they're for me. I'm gonna be selfish on that one. The only other yarn that is coming into my possession is yarn my mom got while we were in France, in Chamonix. There's a yarn store in Chamonix, which was phenomenal, great. Gave me a little shopping opportunity, and I was good, and I didn't buy any yarn, which I feel like deserves like a million pats on the back because I didn't buy any yarn. But my mom, I made her a sweater, I made her a Daria last year using a Homespun House cashmere DK. And she now thinks of it as her Switzerland sweater because usually we go to Switzerland and she wears it and it's gray. And let's see if I can get a picture. I have a picture of her in it, but I'll see if I remember to put a picture in. But it looks very mountainy because it's mostly gray and then has white and blue as the contrast color. So it looks like a mountain sky situation. So she inquired if she could get another sweater. And I kind of had to push her to ask for it because she doesn't like asking for things and she knows that this sweater is coming to her. So she didn't want me to like be making too much stuff for her, but she deserves it. So I asked her if she wanted to get yarn in Chamonix and I'll make her a sweater from it and then it can be her France sweater. And she'll remember France and whatever, all the time we were there. So we went to the yarn shop and she really likes my Ingrid sweater, which is my green La Bien Aimée Cory Confetti in the color Mallard, and the mohair is I Love Sky. She really likes the pattern of that. She does not love how much positive ease there is on that, but that's more of a me thing than the pattern thing because I didn't do a gauge swatch. So she got yarn while we were there. It is Lang Yarns. I can't remember the name of like the type, whatever it is. What's it called? Like not the line. Whatever. Like I can't remember the name of like the type of yarn. It's like I think it's a DK, maybe a worsted. It seems like it's a blown yarn. Can't remember. They ran out of room in their suitcases and had to mail it back, and it has not yet come back into my possession. So I would show it if I had it, but I don't. Maybe I'll write it on the screen. And she got like a light beige color, and I'm gonna make her an Ingrid sweater out of it. I haven't decided if I'm going to hold a strand of mohair with it, just to give it like a little bit more integrity. It's very, very light yarn. I think I got 450 grams of it, I want to say. I think I got 9 balls. So that will be coming down at some point of making her an Ingrid sweater. And I think I'll do the same modifications that I did for mine. So not the full collar, just like a folded collar. I think I did mine with 2x2. So I'll ask her what she wants. She might just want 1x1 collars. And then I did more decreases on the arms, but that might have been because my gauge was off. And I don't need to do that for hers if I gauge swatch, which I will gauge swatch for hers because I want it to actually fit her and be something she'll wear. So I will gauge swatch for that. But, and then what else? So knitting plans for the year. I can go into a more in-depth video if people want, but I feel like I've now missed the boat because it's essentially the middle of January and everyone's put up their 2023 knitting plans. But my goal is to finish my mom's sweater, make and finish my dad's sweater, finish the Marseille sweater for my sister, and then I have a lot of sweaters I'd like to make for me. I'm trying not to buy yarn this year. I've already failed. I bought yarn today, but that was because I really want to make a vest, a cable vest. So I bought Peer Gynt from Sandnes Garn in the new tweed color. And I think I'm gonna try to make my own vest pattern, see how it turns out. I'm thinking like in my head like a cabled vest, like a little oversized cabled vest. I have a cabled design in mind. I'm gonna loosely base it off of my grandma's maiden name is Crawford, which is, she's from Scotland, but was from Scotland, her family's from Ireland. So I believe there is a clan pattern for the Crawfords. I could be making this up, but I feel like I've seen it around, and it's kind of like an intricate Celtic braid, a little bit, not too intricate, but I'm thinking like something like involving that, but like simplifying it a little bit because it seems very busy. And I ordered the Piergan, and then I'm gonna hold it with a strand of mohair from Sandnes Garn. So see how that works out. But I think it would be so cute to have like that, and just like a black or a white plain shirt underneath and a pair of jeans, just as like a good work everyday outfit to wear to my office, and like not have to think about an actual outfit, because I'm going to be going in like 3 or 4 days a week during busy season, which starts in 4 days. So that's what I'm thinking. We'll see how my designing turns out, but that is where my head's at. And then I want to make myself a million sweaters, of course. Top of the list right now, I think, is finish the Monday sweater, and the Sunday sweater. Sunday sweater is, I don't know if I showed it in the last episode, but I have needles on the arms. I hate working magic loops, so it is sitting in my basket underneath my Christmas tree, which is still up right over there because I haven't taken it down yet. And I think I need to just find 16-inch, 6mm, 7mm, whatever size needles those are, because I am not gonna do that, all those sleeves. It's not even gonna take that long. It's gonna take me like literally a day. Like I could do it over the long weekend this weekend, but the idea of doing magic loop sleeves, just to my core, cannot stand it. I want to finish those sweaters. I would like to make a Cosmo cardigan by Russ Knitwear, Simone. She's having a cal right now, I think until the end of March, to do a Cosmo cardigan. And I have a DK yarn that I think would look really good in that I want to use. I want to make a Moby sweater. I want to make, what else do I want to make? All of the Oslo hats. I want to make so many Oslo hats. Maybe I'll make an Oslo hat out of this. Who knows? I want to make a Friday slipover. Don't have yarn for that. Or I don't have yarn in mind for that. All of the socks. So many more shawls. I just need to quit my job, and then I'll have time to knit all day. But yeah, those are my knitting plans. Let me know if anyone would like or cares about my 2023 knitting plans. I don't think I would do full knitting plans. I probably would just do like the winter and see how far I can get into the lofty goals, because I can't decide what I'm doing in the summer. That's way too far away. And a million patterns are gonna come out between now and then that I'm gonna wanna make. So if I had to guess, I'll probably make a few tanks or tees this year. Maybe I'll finish my tank I started last year, and my tee I started last year. That seems like a good May thing. But yeah, so if you stuck around this long, thank you so much. Come chat to me on Instagram. I'm trying to post more. I've been mediocre at it, but trying to post more. My goal is to post like 3 days a week on Instagram and like stories when I knit, and hopefully keep up with it, because I would love to grow my Instagram and the YouTube channel in 2023 as much as I can, just to see what I can do. But thank you so much for watching and sticking around for this long, and I hope you're having a great January. It's not too cold where you are. You're enjoying your knits, hopefully coffees, teas, wines, etc. and I will talk to you next time. Bye.